and we can expect to see Tweety's revenge in 1993. Of Art Lily. We've got a good start here, a real clean start, and this looks very good right there with Battery Park down in the background as we look back to the World Trade Centers in Manhattan. What a great backdrop for a very exciting start. And now we're going to go with a first place boat who's off to a very fast lead. The outside of the picture right there, moving very nicely, but Gentry's Turbo Eagle really taking off real well, having a great start, picking up right where he left off from Cape Coral last week. And there's Kitana on the outside of Tweet Revenge. Great start, a lot of horsepower taken off here at the start of this group of boats. And we're going to go with our first boat. It's boat number 8. Actually, it's boat number 13, the Budweiser Race Team. This 37-foot Cougar is powered by two 850 horsepower Mercury inboard motors with Merc Cruiser outdrives. This boat is owned by Marine Racing Incorporated. Driving today is Hugo Colombo from Miami, Florida, and Earl Lanier is on throttles. Budweiser Race Team had a great year, and they're third in the OPT points in the Open class for 1992, and we wish him all the best here today in his quest for a championship in the Open division. The 47-foot Apache, powered by three 1100 horsepower CNG inboard motors with Merc Cruiser outdrives. And slightly ahead of Tweet Revenge on the outside, that's Spirit of Norway. This boat is owned by Dan Morris of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Driving today is Randy Garcia from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Navigating is Richard Schumann from Hollywood, Florida. And on throttles, it's Larry Goldman of Hollywood, Florida. In their first race, they took a first place at Ocean City, and they wound up with a third in the OPT points in the V-Class standings for 1992. passing through Mallory Square. And now we're coming on boat number 50. It's starting to come up to it now. There it is, and we're going to highlight this boat right now. It's number 50. It's the Apache Heritage Race Team. This 50-foot Apache racing hull is powered by three 1,000 horsepower Mercury inboard motors with Mercruiser outdrive. This boat is owned by Patrick Mercurio of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, who does the navigating. Omar Daniel from Monaco is your driver. On throttles, it's Richie Powers from North Miami, Florida, and Tim Morgan is also along for the ride in this boat. A very interesting thing happened during the week with this Apache Heritage Race Team. When they had the boat out, they felt that they realized they had poor visibility from driving this boat. So what they did was they decided to bring the boat back to Apache. So Pat Mercurio, Mark McManus, and Richie Powers brought the boat back to Apache, where at the Apache race headquarters, they trimmed the deck, basically cut the deck down to provide the race crew as they're nestled in their racing cockpits with much greater visibility. So the boat has been returned, and right now that difference has really made the difference for these guys in terms of much better visibility. So much so, in fact, that they're presently running in first place in the Superboat V class, ahead of Diet Right Sunoco Scarab in excess, and having a lead over Tweet Revenge, who we just saw in the Superboat V class. Right there, that Spirit of Norway on the outside, and on the inside, it's Tweet Revenge going by our copter. Tweet Revenge hanging real tough with Apache Heritage and looking very good at this point in the race also. And now we're coming up on Kid Apache Kid. This is a 45-foot Apache powered by three 1,000 horsepower CNG inboard motors with Mercruiser number 6 outdrives. This boat is owned and driven by Alan Feingold from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Navigating is Bobby Horn from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And Jerry Davis from Philadelphia is your throttle man.